everyone, my name's Danielle and welcome to another episode of Board Game Bakes. This week we're going to focus on Mariposas, which is produced by AEG. I love the artwork on the box with all the contrasts and beautiful colors. So we're actually going to make the outside of our cake look like the box. So we'll get black fondant and we'll draw on and create beautiful butterflies with layers. But then we have to add some variability to it. So in the game you're traveling to different flowers. So we're going to use a cake ball type mixture to make a flower inside of our cake. So this way when you cut into it, you see a beautiful flower. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Here we go. Ready, set, go. To start, we need a cake. This is a double layered stacked cake, so we need a lot of cake. Use your favorite yellow or white cake mix to save a little time. I opted for a white cake mix, except the directions say to either use egg whites or the whole eggs, and I don't like wasting food, so technically I made yellow cakes. Substitute either a half or all of the water in the recipe with milk, and this will give you a firmer cake, which is easier to carve later on. Use all the other ingredients per the box. The directions are obviously wonderfully easy. Add everything to a bowl and mix for 2 minutes on medium speed, and you're good to go. Pour the batter into 2 8-inch circle pans and 2 6-inch circle pans that have been prepared by lining it with parchment paper, spraying with Pam, and dusting with flour. Start by using the time recommended on the cupcakes, which will vary depending on what mix you're using, and watch it after that. And this is done at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You know it's done when a toothpick comes out of the center clean or with some crumbs on it. Let the cake sit for a little bit and then take them out to cool completely on the cooling rack. Okay, I couldn't just make a butterfly cake, so it has a fun flower surprise in the middle. Make another box cake batter per the package directions. Divide the batter between 4 bowls. You want to dye 1 yellow, 1 pink, 1 red, and 1 purple. Pour the batter into cupcake liners and bake per the box instructions. These will be used to make a cake ball filling. On to our icing. The Mariposa game board is full of flowers, and flowers make you think of honey, which led me to a honey cream cheese frosting. It is so tasty. Combine 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, 4 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter, a 1/4 cup honey, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt in a mixer and mix until smooth. Or at least most of the chunks are gone. Add in 3 cups of powdered sugar and mix until that's actually smooth. Now just taste it. Yum. To prep our flowers, crumble the cupcakes, putting the same color cupcakes into their own little bowl. Add a little over a teaspoon of icing to the crumbs, and you can use a spoon in your hands to get it so it's just starting to stick together. Form the yellow crumbles into spheres. You could do different sizes so that you have a choice when you're putting it together about which one you want to use. Form the remaining colored crumbs into petals or cone shapes that are no more than 1 inch tall, because you want the center to be at the top of your cake and the bottom to be on the outside of a sphere you're going to carve. Once you have all the different colors done, put them in the fridge to get a little harder. And while they're hardening up, we'll prep our cake. Time to do some carving. Use a serrated knife to level the cakes. I may have been a bit aggressive in my leveling. Now find a circular object that's roughly 4 inches. Use a pointed knife to make a shallow cut around the circle. Now try your best to make half a sphere on the cake. I'm not really sure what shape I have, but I tried for half a sphere. Repeat this for all of the cakes. The goal is to have a hollowed out sphere inside your cake. Once the cakes are gutted, remove the cake balls from the fridge. Arrange the cake ball petals with the fat side pressing down to the cake and the smaller side forming a base in the middle. Press half of a yellow sphere into the top and fill in you want to press it all down and fill in any of the gaps with icing. Repeat with the other cakes. Try to match the colors of the top and bottom for the same size cakes. So you want the colors in the 6-inch bottom to match the 6-inch top. Before putting the cakes together, reform the yellow sphere, so this way you at least have a circle in the middle. Hold the cakes at a slant and do your best to line up the center of the cakes and push them together. Repeat this process with the larger cake. Finally, put a crumb coat or a thin layer of icing on the cake and return it to the fridge. Once the icing has hardened a bit, ice the outside with an additional batch of the honey cream cheese frosting. Try to level out the top and make it nice and smooth, so this way when you apply your fondant that's also smooth. The cakes are covered in a black fondant to match the color of the Mariposa box. Take marshmallow fondant and use black food gel, a lot of it, to make the fondant black. I was able to reuse extra fondant from previous bakes to have enough fondant for this cake. If your fondant is hard, you could always microwave it for 10 seconds, and then once you use your hand and stuff, it should come together. Roll out the black fondant as thick as you can, or approximately 1/8 of an inch thick. Use cornstarch liberally to make sure that it doesn't stick to the counter. Use a rolling pin to gently roll it over the cake. Flatten and smooth the top. To smooth the sides, gently pull in the fondant and rub down with your hands to avoid getting any folds of the fondant. Repeat the same process for the 6-inch cake. Hey, while you're here, make sure you subscribe to my channel for new episodes every Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST. Okay, back to the content. The Mariposa box is beautiful with layered butterflies, so here we go. To draw butterflies on the cake, you'll need black, orange, and white royal icing. Find a picture of a monarch butterfly or use the box. Draw the outline and the additional black lines that are found in the wings using the black royal icing. The goal is to have a chain of butterflies go up and over the cake. Start with a few larger butterflies and fill in with some smaller butterflies and a few with closed wings since they are also found in the box. Draw 2 separate sections on the 8-inch cake and an arch of butterflies on the 6-inch cake. Make sure that the butterflies line up on the top and bottom cake. Now, fill in all the sections you create on the wings with the orange royal icing. Before you add the orange, the butterfly is kind of blended with the black. It's fun to add the orange and see them really start to pop. When you aren't decorating, you could put the cake back in the fridge so this way the icing stays firm and you don't have to worry about accidentally putting a hole in your fondant. Once all your wings are orange, take your white royal icing and add dots around the wings. Is our cake done yet? Nope! One more fun detail. Stick with me! Try to add some pizzazz and depth to the cake by making rice paper butterflies. Print out an image of a monarch butterfly. I was able to put 6 on one piece of paper, and preferably go with a clip art version so it's easier to outline. Place the printout below a silicone mat so you can still see the image. Divide your rice paper into 3 sections, and dip the rice paper in water. Leave it there until it's completely pliable. Remove it from the water and flatten it over the image of the butterflies. Make sure it's nice and smooth. While that is drying a bit, take a drop or 2 of orange food gel and put in a small bowl. Mix in a splash of vodka. Use a paintbrush to paint in the orange parts of the butterfly. Let it dry a bit to avoid color bleeding. Not that that happened to me, but it did. So let it sit a second and feel with your fingers to make sure that it's dry enough to add more details. Get a drop of black food gel and another splash of vodka to make your black paint. Outline the butterflies and add the wing details. Now, heat in the oven. I just went with this base setting for me, which is 350 degrees Fahrenheit, until it just starts to dry. Once you take it out, use scissors to cut out your butterflies and spread it back on the silicone mat. Once they've all been cut out, put something over them so they dry flat. As a final touch, put your iron on the lowest setting, put parchment paper over your butterfly, and heat it until it's just pliable. Try to bend the wings so this way they look more like a butterfly shape and have a curve. The last thing we're going to do is add the white dots onto the wings. Add these beauties to your cake by putting a drop of royal icing on the back and sticking them on. Woohoo! We did it! We're done! We have a beautiful cake! Thanks for watching another episode of Board Game Bakes. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the different components come together to make the cake that was beautiful on the outside, but also pretty on the inside as well. Thanks again to AEG for sending me this game. It was fun getting to go through it, and I'm looking forward to playing it more in the future. Now it's time for the best part, eating the cake. Uh-oh, I was trying to escape. I'm not a huge frosting person, but I really love this cream cheese and honey frosting. It gives that little bite from the cream cheese and the honey in there. Makes it a good amount of sweetness instead of being overly sweet. The cake wall parts in the middle are also nice because they just have a little bit of frosting in it, so they're not as overwhelming as a usual cake pop. Thanks for watching this episode. If you have a chance, take some time and plant some flowers outside to help all the butterflies and the bees in your area. Keep playing games and keep them sweet. Bye!